boundaries. So I was just asked what does it look like to specifically enforce your boundaries? For example, very simple one is timeliness. There's so many, but I'd love to hear your list. But timeliness, let's say you're on time, you're waiting a significant amount of time, 20 minutes, 15, 20, 30 minutes, and your friend, your colleague, whoever it is chronically showing up late. If you find yourself in the habit of saying like, oh, no, it's okay, notice that, because let me tell you what that is. When a person is chronically late, they're testing your boundary, okay? And when you say it's okay, you're giving them permission. So that really shows me that you're fearful of conflict. And fearful of conflict shows me low self-worth, to be just very direct about it. And it also shows me fear of rejection. So just notice those things. So be brave, be strong. And what it would look like is this. Someone shows up, it's the second time that you've met, not the third, fourth, fifth, or sixth time, the second time someone shows up late. Honestly, even better, more masterclass is the first time someone shows up late, really, to be perfectly honest. And you just logically and reasonably state to them, hey, I understand things happen. And for me, what works best for me is I really need people to be on time. And on time means at the time that we state. And I understand if that can't work for you, but I can't work with you, or I can't meet up with you, or I can't hang out with you if we're not going to have that agreement. And I understand if you don't want to. Very logical, it's their choice. That's a boundary. It's going to be very uncomfortable for you in the beginning. It's scary. And honestly, I find that for some weird reason, women are particularly frightened of this. But practice it. Honestly, setting a boundary and limit is very relaxing for everybody. People know how they are to behave around you. You know what you need, that you're going to get your needs met, and you're not going to compromise. That's an example. Time, the way that someone speaks to you. If you constantly feel this vibrational sense, let's say it's covert, it's more passive aggressive, but you constantly feel that they're dismissive, maybe condescending, talking down to you. I would say that how to set that boundary is I wouldn't even say anything. I would never hang out with that person again. If it's somebody that I would need to hang out with again, for example, it's a teacher, it's a sibling, it's somebody you've been friends with for a while, and this is something new, for example, then I would say, hey, I noticed that when you're talking to me, and if they interrupt you, I would not let them interrupt. I'd say, like, you need to hear me out, or we just can't hang out anymore, or, I can't work with you, I'll hear you out. I won't interrupt you, but I have to tell you, I experience the way you're talking to me this way, and it feels this way. This is my feelings. I understand if that's not what you felt when you said it, or you meant when you said it, or that you were thinking. I understand all that, but I'm telling you that's how I experience it, and I don't want to be involved in this kind of conversation or feelings in the future. So if we can work towards immediately not having that kind of dialogue where I feel put down, we can work together. But if not, I understand, but we just can't work together. Now, again, if it's a person of authority, what do? You always try to, to logically, consistently reinforce your boundaries. If you need to get help, I have with people of authority at school, and maybe you have to go above them and ask others to make sure that your boundaries are being met. And sometimes you have to put it in writing. Okay, but in general, with people that you have a freedom where you can choose, I choose to not interact with people that consistently make me feel that way. time, the way people speak, the way you feel. Like, do you feel like they are including you? Do you feel like they respect you mutually or even honor you? Give me some lists of more examples, and I will give you direct things that you can say and practice to build your self-worth and self-esteem through knowing your boundaries and upholding your boundaries. And then the consequences are their consequences, and they're choosing them. So that's the way it works. That's called limit setting as well in parenting. Thanks for listening.